Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. It's Marie with Swipe in the City. I am joined today for a special book club episode with Mike the producer.
Hey guys.
You sound thrilled to be here, as always, Mike.
You guys stopped doing weeknights, but
we say this all the time.
yeah, this coffee's gonna kick in.
Also, you've been off all week. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, but it's got me lazy.
I
haven't done shit all week. It's awesome, but I think it's making me tired.
I feel like the more you sleep, the more tired you are. Like the days where I get to actually sleep in, I just walk around and I'm groggy the whole damn day.
Not me. I fucking love my sleep. My dogs don't let me sleep past 8. Usually 7 anymore. It's fucking annoying.
So nice of them.
Yeah.
They're like children.
Yeah.
Luna will let me sleep until 10 sometimes. Like, if she was out with me the day before, the night before, and she's also tired, she'll let me sleep in. But otherwise, we're usually up around 8 or 9.
I don't think I'll ever get that again. It just happened randomly, 2-3 months ago. They were just like, "Oh, this works."
We like it like this.
Sun's up. Let's go.
The sun's not even up at 7 or 8. Well, it's up by 8.
You're telling me? As soon as the light starts coming, they're like, "Yo, got shit to do."
Oof. What kind of shit? They're dogs. Come on.
Yeah, but they're spoiled and they get 2 playtimes every day now.
Their lives do sound really difficult.
Yeah, very.
Well, what else is going on other than we are pre-recording this, so Mike didn't just randomly take a week off for no reason. This is the weird week between Christmas and New Year's that nobody knows what to do.
Yeah, I'm actually going to New Orleans in 2 weeks, so I am taking a week off.
Oh, that's dope. That's for a purpose.
Yeah, I've never been. I don't know.
Me either.
Yeah, me and Elle are going with a bunch of her friends.
That's awesome.
I don't really fucking know. I just found out they have casinos there, and
Do they?
That's a big thing apparently.
Huh?
I thought it was
Vegas?
Yeah, I thought I was just gonna be walking down the street and drinking some shit, but apparently they have casinos. Big gambling spot.
I mean, I've been driving through Louisiana, going out to Florida to my mom's. And I definitely see a lot of billboards for casinos, but I can't say I've seen it really associated with New Orleans, or ever thought that it's associated with New Orleans.
Yeah, I grew up in New Jersey, so we have Atlantic City, so I'm just used to being everywhere. Which, by the way, fucking Pennsylvania just opened a new casino in Philly, and you have to see this commercial. It's
oh no,
so bad. It's this guy just winning a bunch of money. But he's talking all smooth, and it's a voiceover, and he's like, "I'm the man when I'm here."
Oh my God, stop!
It is so bad, but fucking hysterical.
Oh man, I'm trying. That reminds me of an episode of Criminal Minds, so I'm just trying to get my brain away from that.
It's so sickening. It's he's like, "I'm a winner." He's like,
oh my God.
I can't ruin it, but
yeah, don't ruin the punchline.
Yeah, but that's what I got. I can't find a new job. I have a job, but it sucks. And yeah, I'm getting turned down left and right. And
I don't understand why that is.
I'm interviewing well. They're saying, "We really liked you, but we went with so and so." And it's why am I even interviewing if you're going to take someone else over a resume?
That's wild.
It's fucked up. It's exhausting. I don't...
If you're still looking in a couple of months, we're going to be hiring outside for sales managers. And I love where I work, so...
Definitely let me know. I'm going to see what my bonus is for this last quarter in a week.
There you go.
And I'm sure that'll motivate me to... fly everywhere again.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's been bad, but...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good.
At least you're off this week.
Yeah.
Use that PTO.
Yeah. Everybody's getting COVID now, though.
Oh, it's bad.
Omicron. My buddy Nate just tested positive. Pat's sick.
Didn't Pat get it, the old version?
Pat's got,
Sorry, the old version.
Pat's gotten all three, I think.
Shut up.
Alpha, Delta, Omicron.
Oh, so he's had all the sorority girls.
He's like collecting Pokemon cards at this point.
Oh my god, that's wild.
That's fucked up.
Man, I've known more people. I think I told you this yesterday. Like, more people in the past 2 weeks in my like circle of humans have had COVID than in the entire 2 years of this pandemic combined. Like, it's insane.
It's weird.
It's really creepy.
The vaccine's just pointless at this point. Though it definitely helps you.
It wouldn't be pointless if people got it, but this isn't a political podcast.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, my New Year's show got canceled. We were gonna go see Spoon.
Oh, that's cool.
Movie theater. I dropped each ticket was $105.
Shit.
And we were all amped up. They canceled it yesterday.
That sucks. You get your money back, right?
Yeah, but now I have no plans.
Well, we're doing some charcuterie on the terrace tomorrow night if you want to pretend you're a Lennox resident.
Fuck, it's tomorrow, isn't it?
It is tomorrow.
Oh,
If you want to pretend you're a Lennox party person again.
yeah, maybe. Might be down.
Kyle, he makes a mean charcuterie.
I love Kyle.
I know, he's awesome. I'm stoked. Cool. Well, should we get into it? Because I'm super stoked to talk about Attached.
Yeah, definitely. So Marie recommended this book to me, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months ago. And I finally had an extra Audible credit to spend. And I was tired of listening to Joe Rogan. So I was like, fuck it, I'll check it out. And it was one of the greater books I've read on relationships. Very insightful. Definitely makes you aware of shit. Like, it has a lot of stuff in it that I already knew, but it kind of gave it a structure for me and explained it and backed it up with, like, I knew things, but now I'm like, yeah, read this fucking book. I was right. But yeah, good recommendation.
Yeah, and for anybody wondering, because there are a few different books about attachment styles, it's Attached, The New Science of Adult Attachment by Amir, Levine, and Rachel S.F. Heller. Yeah, definitely. So, and I, as everything ties back to Betches Love This and You Up Pod, this is one book that Jordana, the host of that podcast, has referenced in like a number of episodes, which is why I was like, okay, of all the things, like she said it so many times, I need to like just listen to it.
Yeah.
And it's a super easy read too. Like it doesn't, I don't think it overcomplicates anything. Did you?
There were some aspects to it that I disagreed with. I don't know if that is what you were asking, but no, it's pretty surface level.
Straightforward.
Yeah, and essentially, I don't know if you wanted to summarize it or if I
Go for it.
But,
you've read it more recently than I have.
Yeah, so I think it gets more in depth if you like Google attachment styles. There's like more of them. These people segmented into 3 different attachment styles. So
4.
Is it 4?
Technically.
Yeah, it's like, what are they?
Anxious, avoidant, secure, and anxious avoidant.
Yeah.
But anxious avoidant accounts for a very small percentage of people. So they didn't really talk about it very much.
They glossed over it. That's right. So they focus mainly on secure, anxious, avoidant. And like 30 minutes in, while I was listening, I fucking texted Marie, and I was like, "Yo, are you gonna make my relationship like end at this point? Like, what the fuck?" Because it's really like abrasive and in your face. It's like you should not date these people. These 2 styles don't work out and all this shit.
It is aggressive in the beginning.
Yeah.
It is
freaking the fuck out, and then.
And no, that was not the goal.
Yeah.
That was absolutely so far from the goal.
Well, yeah, no, and they actually, it was actually quite the opposite. Like as I kept reading or listening, it kind of explained. It's like, okay, if you are in a relationship and you're dating one of these people, or you are one of these people, this is how you handle it, and Like, if you don't, then you might as well end it. But no, it gives you a lot of really good tools to make relationships better.
Yeah, and I can't remember what their credentials are. I think I'm 99% sure it's something in the psychology world. But yeah, for me, it was more so reading and like having that awareness, like you said, of like, okay, there's all these ideas, there's all these things that I know about myself and the world and things that have happened in my relationships. But as I was listening, I could literally pinpoint, oh, well, I did this in this relationship and I thought that I was just, quote unquote crazy, as we label it, like, oh, I'm just being crazy. And I'm like, no, maybe I am, but it's, what does he call it? It's, he gave it a term that reminded me of a little kid.
I'm sorry.
But basically, I'm acting out.
Okay.
Is, I think, the short way to put it.
Yeah.
It'll come to me.
I just had serious deja vu, but
oh no.
I remember this girl who was dating my friend, and she was screaming at him in the street. And she's like, you think I'm crazy? And she's like slapping her hands together with each syllable. She's
I can picture that.
Crazy. I was almost on the ground pissing myself.
Did that happen outside, like, our apartment complex? Because that sounds like something that would happen outside my balcony.
Yeah, for real.
I'm pretty sure I've seen something similar.
I must have been a teenager.
Oh my god, that's funny.
It was hysterical. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we do, like, we use that label crazy. Honestly, for a lot of, like, the anxiously attached people, like, avoidants don't really get... I think avoidants get fuckboy labeled if they're male.
Yeah. So I had to look up the statistic on like percentage of just for me. I looked up percentage of women who are anxious because I feel like a lot of women I've dated have had that kind of attachment style.
What if you're attracted to that kind of attachment style?
So I think he does touch on that in the book. If he did, it was brief, but it depends on your attachment style, right? So they basically try to diagnose you. And I texted Marie, the first day I was listening to it, and she was like, what attachment style do you think you are? And I was like, oh, definitely avoidant, like absolutely avoidant. And then as I kept listening, it actually disqualified me as avoidant. He has this whole like PDF with questions that you ask yourself, and it pretty much... It's like, oh, if you think this way, this is your style. So it's weird because, like, I feel like I've been avoidant, I've been anxious, and, like, now I think I'm secure, but I have avoidant flashes maybe. And it's fucking weird because part of me thinks that our culture is making me a faux avoidant.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, in order to be attractive, you need to act this way. That's why you and me get into fights over how quickly you're supposed to text back.
I was like, wait, we fight? No, some of us play games and some of us don't play games.
It's the games, right? So, like, you could be a secure person, but... And actually, I wrote this down. Secure people are the nice guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have their shit together, and they're just not exciting, right? There's something there that you're not... There's no spark.
Yeah.
And it's because they just, like, have their shit together, I guess. But ultimately...
Well, not necessarily no spark, but no drama. And I think some people confuse drama and spark.
So, yeah, so...
That's something in How to Not Die Alone. That one I know.
Okay.
Which is another book.
We might do that next. So, one of the key takeaways I had was anxious people are attracted to avoidant people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they need to feel validated, essentially. like anxious people are insecure generally, and they kind of need to fight for that validation. And the further an avoidant person pushes an anxious person away, the quote unquote crazier they get. And they start questioning, everything about themselves and like, what the fuck did I do wrong here? And it's just an avoidant person being avoidant.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know, like, because they touch on some of like, oh, when you were raised, if you were raised this way, it can impact your attachment style. They kind of glazed over that. For me, like looking back at past relationships, I feel like when I was younger, up through college, I was secure. Like looking back at the way that I interacted with those relationships, I was secure up until my ex cheated on me with my teammate. And I mean, not to blame him for becoming anxious, because I don't at all. But it's like from there, then I ended up also just in these other, like the guy I dated after that was definitely avoidant. Which increased my anxiety because of the situation that I'd been with my ex cheating.
Yeah.
So, and then I just continued to date these avoidant guys, which increased my anxiety. Now I feel like I'm at a place, I feel like I'm anxious avoidant now, because I'm just so sick of the bullshit. And I've also just kind of grown up to be more independent. I'm fine without a relationship.
Yeah.
Unless it's the right relationship.
Yeah, that's one of the weird gray areas in the book that I didn't really agree with. I feel like you can bleed into different sections here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I'm mostly secure, I want to say. There are times when I've been avoidant. There are times I've been anxious. And there's a part in the book where he says it takes something like 4 years to change an attachment style. I just don't agree with that. And like he also made it sound like it's just not easy. But I feel like if you arm yourself with knowledge and like read these books and become aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, then you can actually change. I mean, that's...
Well, I think awareness is key for, like, changing literally anything, But, yeah, I don't know that I necessarily agree that you can put a timestamp on how long it takes, because everybody, like, approaches that awareness a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know that can be quantified.
Right. I don't know. I have a theory that everybody who is dating should be reading up on the psychology of dating and why you're being treated like shit, or why you're doing things the right way, how you can avoid the wrong way. I mean, I'm addicted to this shit. Love it.
I mean, yeah, but a lot of people don't read, as we were talking about earlier.
Fucking get an audiobook. Honestly, I can trail off sometimes if I'm listening to audiobooks.
Like trail off into your thoughts?
Yeah, and then I'll be like, fuck, I just missed a whole chapter.
I do the same with podcasts too sometimes. Like, it depends on what I'm doing though, because like I typically will listen to either an audiobook or a podcast while I'm on my morning walk with Luna, our little 30-minute stroll to Starbucks. And like, for some reason, that type of activity keeps me very engaged in the book. Or even like when I was driving, just because there's fucking nothing else to do.
Right.
But I'll also listen while I'm like doing chores.
Me too.
And like that works, but there will be points if it's something I need to pause it a lot of times. Like if it's something I need to focus on. Like if I have to count or do anything, like I can't always listen to anything but music while I cook because I'm too focused on that activity.
Right.
But that's a sidebar.
I'm a big, when I'm putting the dishes away or vacuuming, I'll throw it in my ears.
How long does it take you to put dishes away?
I mean, fucking a few minutes, but when I'm in clean mode, I'm cleaning everything.
That's fair.
Um,
Like doing the dishes is one thing.
Yeah,
That's boring as hell.
it is. There's a fucking podcast, before I forget, you have to listen to.
Okay.
Oh shit. Roll Tomasi, no fucking way. Do you know Michaela Peterson?
Never heard of the bird.
Do you know Jordan Peterson?
That name sounds more familiar, but no.
Everybody hates him. Like the LGBTQ people. He
What do you do?
He basically said like there are two pronouns. There are no more than that. Like you can't speak up against that or you're fucked.
Woof.
But they were trying to mandate. This is going off. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Jordan Peterson has a daughter, Michaela Peterson. He actually just had. She had the author of The Rational Male.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, just released. You said he doesn't have any fucking credentials, but she's talking to him for something.
I mean, just because she's talking to him doesn't mean he has credentials.
No, of course not, of course not. But like, yeah.
Maybe we'll do that one next, and I still haven't finished it, but that'll be a fun one.
I would have to re-listen to it. But honestly, like reading that book kind of taught me how to be avoidant.
Yeah.
Because like part of it is telling you like not to be clingy or anything. But the thing about anxious people,
it's all about toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
I have fucking pages of notes in my podcast. Yeah, like
shit.
he uses the term pussy whipped.
Does he?
Yeah, in like the beginning. And I swear to God, I almost dropped my phone. Like
you fucking hated me, I'm sure.
I was like, I was just so confused. But I remember I thought this was the book that you brought up when you when you were like pitching the Nice Guys episode that we did.
No, it was a different one, I think.
Because I was kind of catching things throughout the book. They're like, oh, like Nice Guys finish last, blah, blah, blah bullshit. But I mean, yeah, I think we should definitely, honestly, even the notes that I have up until now could probably be a full episode.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, no, those like that's what it's teaching you. It's like if you're an anxious person, this is how to act like you're not anxious. But this book,
and it is about putting on that front, versus
exactly
dealing with whatever it is about you that's making you that way.
Exactly, and Attached argues that you're not supposed to run away from your attachment style. You're supposed to accept it and find somebody who can address it. Basically, like.
Yeah.
If somebody anxious is acting out, there's a reason for it, and it doesn't mean you have to stop dating the person. It means you have to address it and communicate and be like, okay, like, why do you feel this way? What am I doing that's causing you to feel this way? Let's fix it.
Maybe be a little more patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like show more affection or whatever it may be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think, obviously, like, I related a lot to, like, my most recent relationship. And I hadn't read the book when we first got together, but I had taken the quiz. And so that was, like, like, there was something, I don't know, something happened. I was like, yeah, I mean, look, just, like, to be honest, like, this is my attachment style. And there was a point later on in the relationship where he was like, yeah, when you told me that, I understood what you meant. I think he's just also familiar with attachment styles. But he was like, no, I understood what you meant, and I knew that I had to do certain things a little bit differently. And honestly, like, that did mean a lot to me. Yeah. That A, he fucking understood. and B, that he was willing to kind of take a step back and be like, oh, well, like, maybe I don't, wait 6 hours to text back, Mike.
Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. Like, it's common. It's a common. Oh God, my brain's freezing. A common agreement. What am I trying to say? Common belief. I don't. Anyway, generally, men are being told to act avoidant. To be attractive, and unfortunately, I think that's what has to happen.
I don't know that I agree with that, but
well, if you're, it comes back to anxious people are attracted to avoidant people,
right? but both of those parties are still single. I think he even gave stats in the book as to like the like number of relationships that fail or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they were.
Yeah.
You have to read the book to find out. Yeah. Suckers.
But it's crazy because like all my guy friends who I've had throughout my life, the ones who don't give a shit are usually getting laid the most, and they're definitely avoidance.
Well, getting laid is differently than being in like a healthy relationship.
Yeah, no, completely agree. But like as I was growing up, I was like, why the fuck? What do they see in this guy? And it's that they didn't give a shit. And they're just like, yeah, I'll text them in 24 hours.
Well, I mean, I think especially when you're younger, I think that's super attractive to women.
Validation?
Like I mean, the chase.
Yeah.
Guys like the chase, I think notoriously, but I mean, I don't think women like to admit they like the chase, but yeah, it's fun. Like to your point, somebody who's secure might be a little bit more boring sometimes because you know that they're into you. You don't need that additional validation. You don't need to act out for them to be like, yeah, babe, I love you.
Yeah. I think it's human nature to want to accomplish something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily like the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Either.
I agree.
I mean, I would just like to find a secure dude when I move to New York. We'll see.
I was going to ask.
Stay tuned.
What's it like knowing that you're leaving a city, but not for like, say, 6 months, and then, like, do you just pause dating? What happens?
Yeah. I mean, I've like mentioned it kind of briefly on other episodes, but like, I have really like paused dating since I made this decision in August.
Yeah.
Which was part of the reason I was like down to hook up with my ex, because I was like, well, there are other needs, and I don't have the energy, or I don't really even care enough to put the effort into like meeting somebody else and like starting over from scratch again while I'm here, because where is it going to go? There's no point.
Yeah.
From when I went out to New York in November, I obviously updated my Hinge location. And I never moved it back. The only thing I did, I moved it to Lenox Hill, which was where I was staying, where my Airbnb was, on the Upper East Side. So the only thing I did was move it to Williamsburg. And part of me feels kind of dishonest because honestly, like I have been poking around, like I've matched with a couple of guys, like I'm literally like talking to one guy right now, I guess.
For sure.
But I'm also like, I'm trying to be as upfront as I can be of like, yeah, I'm actually not, like, you can't ask me out on a date for next week. Like, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm literally not there. But, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, looking at the pool of applicants out there. Because it's definitely a lot more diverse. It seems to be more interesting, honestly, than the Hinge guys in Austin. Or maybe that's just because at this point I've probably seen them all.
It's got to be different for sure. So my one friend, not friend, she's
oh no,
well, she's fucking insane. She started Oracle with me, but she no longer works for the company. But I'm like one of 4 maybe who still is at the company.
Damn.
Started with me.
That was how it was with me at GoDaddy.
It's wild.
My training class, I was like one of 4 left.
I feel like I should get a raise for that, but
I agree.
Yeah,
or a bonus.
Anyway, I started with this girl. Did some crazy shit throughout training, but I saw she moved to Austin, and she was wild, man. She was trying stand-up comedy. She was singing into her webcam.
Like for work?
No, just doing it, just going for it.
Okay.
Which I fucking fully respect, but she was not good at either, really.
Oof. Yikes.
But I don't want to hate on somebody who's trying. Anyway.
Fair.
I saw she moved to Austin, and I think she lasted like 9 months, and then she threw something up on her story where she was like, I can't stand the fucking men in Austin. It's garbage here. And I was like,
Honestly,
you moved here during COVID, and like, is it really that fucking bad? You gave it 9 months, but I said that to Elle, and she was like, "Nah, it's pretty bad here."
I've been giving it 7 years. Like, I've been here for 7 fucking years dating. I've been single most of the time. I'm fucking done. I'm tired.
Why do you think Austin's like a passer through city? People aren't taking it seriously.
I think all the guys have Peter Pan syndrome, and I think they're stuck in their avoidant attachment styles. Most of them don't have a leg to stand on for it. And it's just, I mean, yeah, I've always, literally since I moved down here, I thought of this city as like Neverland, because I feel like it's a bunch of grown-ups who don't want to actually be grown-ups. Tell me I'm wrong!
I mean, I wouldn't fucking know. I only have...
you have male friends, don't you?
They're all in relationships at this point.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Like, all of them. So, yeah, I can only talk about them. I hate most of the guys I see when I'm out.
Well, and if you hate them, try dating them, Mike. Try dating them.
So much frattiness. It's so bad.
It is. It's, yeah, like West 6th Street. It's...
I can't go there anymore.
No.
I almost got into a fight last time. I've almost gotten in several fights. I'm not confrontational when I drink at all. Like, but I got in this guy's face, and he almost shit him. Like, he approached me.
Jesus.
And he was like, "Hey, motherfucker." He's like, "Are you, he's like, "What are you looking at?" And I was like,
oh, God.
I was like, "Fucking what?" I was literally just, like, looking off into a crowd, just hanging out.
As people do.
Yeah. He's like, "Were you looking at something?" And I was not in the mood that night, so I fucking snapped.
I don't think anybody's in the mood for that ever.
I screamed at him. I was like, "You're really trying to get fucked up right now, huh?" And he like backs up and he's like, "Whoa, dude, whoa." And I'm like, "All right, sorry, but like, what do you get out of here, man?"
Yeah, like, fuck you. That's bullshit.
And we shook hands, but yeah, I fucking...
As only drunks do.
That's like most of the people here.
Yeah.
Like,
it's...
Everyone should leave. Austin sucks.
Yeah, don't move here. I don't know. Everybody thinks it's ridiculous that I'm leaving, too. And I'm like,
I'm not happy about it.
I'm like, sure, you can... Well, I mean, of course my friends aren't happy about it. But, like, people just don't understand... like the purpose. They're like, but Austin is so fun. Austin is such a great place. It's not so much like, oh, you're my friend and I'm going to miss you. Like, obviously my friends have that sentiment, but like the random people, like, I don't think they understand. I kind of look at it as like, I've outgrown the city. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know. I'm probably going to go to New York. We've already recorded our episode on New York dating. From what it sounds like, according to Jay, is that there's a lot of avoidance out there, too. I'm pretty sure they're unavoidable, but shh.
Well, the numbers
but he's also got a really interesting, some interesting stories, and an interesting perspective that I don't know that it's like the actual broader scope of New York dating. So
right.
It'll be interesting to get that one out. It'll be interesting to experience for myself.
So I started saying it earlier, but I think I trailed off. For myself, I Googled like what percentage of women are anxious, and according to this website, 30%.
What's the website?
Very low to me. WebMD.
That's my source for everything. Whenever I think I have COVID.
Now, if you have COVID, they'll tell you have cancer.
Yeah. It's something that's going to kill you. 30% does sound low.
It does, right? And then I had a whole chart earlier, but I fucking closed out of it.
I thought, I thought, if I remember correctly, Attached had stats. It wasn't,
I've got it.
It wasn't male to female, but he had stats on the number of people or like general percentage. Although I don't know when the book was written.
But I think he also did, because I was shocked when he said those numbers. And then he said his study was only like out of 20 people or something weird.
Yeah. It was an interesting, and I think it was like done in the 80s or something.
Yeah. So take a guess. How many males are secure?
What's the source?
It's fucking ResearchGate.
Is that I don't know. Okay, all right. Unknown source.
ResearchGate.net. It's got .net. So.
Oh, so you know it's legit. I feel like secure men 25%.
11%.
Woof.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, there is no hope for us.
What do you think, women?
Secure?
Yeah.
Lower than that.
58%. I don't know. I don't know about this study.
I don't know about that.
I don't know either.
I don't know about your .net source.
I can't get over the anxious.
Nobody quote us on this, by the way. I don't want anybody sliding into my DMs like, why are you giving fake news on your podcast?
Oh, God. You realize we haven't heard from Trump recently because he's banned on everything?
Well, he was actually on the news. They were showing a clip of him talking about how people...
Biden, right?
No, talking about how people need to get the vaccine.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I was actually very surprised. I can't remember exactly how he worded it either, but I was like, those are things I never. I mean, I know he was like one of the first people to get the vaccine, but I feel like he didn't really publicize it. And I'm like, honestly, like it's a little too late.
Man.
But damn, I was not expecting it.
Part of me wishes he wasn't canceled and everything because it was just a constant, like, what the fuck is this guy going to say next?
Twitter was hilarious. Twitter was like the things that you could do, quote tweeting like to make a Trump meme with some random shit he said and adding your own commentary. I mean, it was gold for influencers. Maybe he'll get it back Maybe he'll redeem himself someday.
I still say Kofeafe. Did you see when he fucked up a tweet?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Him or his assistant, unknown.
Yeah, right. Actually, Rogan used to make fun of him all the time. He's like, he's up fucking snorting Ritalin at 3 a.m. sending these tweets.
Honestly.
Anyway, the highest rated attachment style for females.
Anxious.
Avoidant, fearful.
I don't think fearful's... So fearful isn't one of the ones that's discussed in the book.
No, this is a different... it has avoidant dismissing and avoidant fearful.
That's dismissive.
They say... I might have fucked up these numbers.
Come on, Mike.
I was reading the amount of people. I'm sorry. 32% of women are secure. 22% of men are secure.
See, I was close.
Yeah.
I said 25.
Pretty close, but
although I don't know that. I don't know. Maybe more women are. I don't know.
40% of men are avoidant, fearful. That's the highest for them. And so women are 33.9. It's the highest for them, which means nobody's ever gonna date each other.
Well, they'll date each other and then they'll break up.
Yeah, and not know why because they haven't read this fucking book.
There you go. Podcast. Honestly, no, like literally, I was diagnosing everything in like every single one of my past relationships as to why it didn't work. I honestly found it very therapeutic.
Me too. Yeah.
Like it was very helpful, and I obviously haven't been in a relationship since, but I feel like, or I hope that going into the next one, I'll at least have a little bit more, not even just awareness, but a more eloquent way to articulate.
Do you think you would just straight up dodge an avoidant guy?
Probably.
Yeah.
Depending on like the level of avoidance. Because I've been like kind of moving towards that for a while, but I think it'll be easier for me to see like the patterns of like, oh, he's doing X, Y, and Z. He's clearly avoidant. And this is not going to work.
Yeah. And
he'll probably be great in bed, but like that's about it.
That's the weirdest part about reading these books is it's like you fucking got out of the Matrix and now you have all the answers and you see people acting out in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I fucking read about this.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't communicate that to them.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, fuckface, you're doing this because of this. Like, go fix it.
Yeah, that's not exactly the best way to, go about that.
I don't know. That's like, that's pretty much all I had to say about
I know, I was going to say, I think we've covered at least my key takeaways here.
Yeah.
But definitely anybody who does want to read the book, it's a super easy, quick read. Where did the full title go?
I think this is probably one of the more important episodes that I've been on. And yeah, what are you gonna do when you go to New York, dude? It's gonna be like Zoom bullshit.
Yeah. I know it's not as fun.
Not yet.
I know.
I'm not happy. Are you gonna visit?
Are you kidding me?
I'm not saying like you got to bring all your podcast shit, but
I mean, I purposely wanted a very light amount of podcast equipment for multiple reasons. The main one being that I'm very lazy. The other one being I don't like things too complicated, and the other one being I like to keep it light.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be back here. It's not like I'm going to leave and you're never ever going to see me again.
Yeah.
My company is also based here. And they have been discussing quarterly
visits
or on-sites, I guess is what we call them, which would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not getting rid of me, which is what I just keep telling all y'all, and I don't think you believe me.
Okay.
I will be back.
This always happens to me where like I start ramping up my friendship with somebody right when they're about to leave. Like I've seen you more in the past few months than since I've known you, probably.
Well, we didn't meet until 2020 either.
Yeah.
Well, I saw you from a distance when we first were living here.
That's fair.
But never closer because Luna would bark at your dog. But no, I'll miss you guys. I'll be back.
Yeah.
It'll be good, and New York's a fun place to visit too.
I don't think I'm ever going back to the Northeast.
What? Never ever?
I don't want to. Just, I hate planes right now. I hate them.
That I don't blame you.
That's how Nate got COVID. Maybe.
Believe that.
He just got back from like Florida or somewhere. But
Well, Florida's also a good place to get COVID. They don't care about it there.
yeah.
I was able to get my booster with a very last minute appointment. Meanwhile, I couldn't find an appointment here to save my life. So, yeah. But for those of you who do want to read, the full title of this book is Attached: The New Science of Adult Attachment by Amir Levine and Rachel S.F. Heller. Super good. You can find it on Audible or probably anywhere that you buy books.
Yeah.
Such as Amazon, because I don't think anybody buys books anywhere else.
Yeah. What do people ever respond anymore and give you like advice or questions still, or not so much?
Not as much. Honestly, we never really got a lot of inbound stuff.
Yeah.
Period. Other than like the guys that want to bang us. I'll cut that.
Well, whoever wants to bang Marie and Michelle, if you want to respond to this and let us know if you want more of these or if you have a book recommendation, definitely let us know. We'll give it a listen and do it again.
Yeah, anybody who wants to, who likes the book club aspect of the podcast, let us know, and you can slide in at Swipe and the City across all platforms.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Mike. Us being me.
Anytime, Marie.
All right. Bye.